online science teacher. I'm here to help you be a Sci fanatic. We are on our second quarter, week 4, and we are going to talk about how ions are formed. What is an ion? An ion is an atom or a molecule with a net charge, either a positive or a negative. In your grade 8 class, you've learned that an atom normally exists in neutral state, meaning the number of protons or the positive charge is equal to the number of electrons or the negative charge. So, when an atom has a charge, either a positive or a negative, then we can say that it is an anion. How our ions are formed? It happens when a neutral atom either lose or gain electrons.
Why does an atom need to lose or gain electrons?
It needs to lose or gain electrons to achieve the octet rule or to become stable.
How can you know if the atom will either lose or gain electrons?
It will lose electron if the valence electron is either 1, 2, or 3. They are all metals except for hydrogen. It will gain electrons if the valence electron is either 5, 6, or 7. They are all non-metals. Valence electrons are the electrons found in the outermost shell. In the atomic structure of lithium, it has one valence electron, so it tends to lose electron. For the fluorine atom, which has 7 valence electrons, it tends to gain electrons. Either losing or gaining of electrons is important to attain stability. So what are the types of ion? From a neutral atom, if it loses an electron, it will be called cations. If it gains electrons, it will be called anions. Therefore, cations are positive ions produced when one or more electrons are lost from a neutral atom, while anions are negative, produced when a neutral atom gains one or more extra electrons. To illustrate the formation of cations, from a neutral sodium atom which has 11 positive protons and 11 negative electrons, the net charge is 0. The valence electron of a neutral sodium atom is 1, so its tendency is to lose its electron to become a sodium ion. The sodium ion still has 11 protons, but now 10 electrons. So, the net charge is positive 1. For the anion, chlorine has 17 protons and 17 electrons, which gives us a 0 net charge. Chlorine has 7 valence electron and it tends to gain electron. So now, for the chlorine ion, it still has 17 protons but now 18 electrons. So the overall charge is negative 1. How are ions named? Cations are named by adding the term ion after the name of the parent atom. So for example, from a neutral atom of potassium, just add the word ion. So it will become potassium ion or potassium cation. For sodium, it will become sodium ion or sodium cation. How about for beryllium?
Beryllium becomes beryllium ion or beryllium cation.
For magnesium?
It becomes magnesium ion or magnesium cation.
Lastly?
It becomes calcium ion or calcium cation.
Perfect. Anions are named by taking the root name of the atom and changing the suffix with IDE. So for a neutral atom, for example, of oxygen, the root name is oxy, so we add the suffix IDE, so it will become oxide ion. For sulfur, it will become sulfide ion. How about for nitrogen?
It becomes nitride ion.
For chlorine,
it becomes chloride ion.
and lastly,
It becomes iodide ion.
good. Now it's the time for you to test your knowledge about ions. I hope you are all ready. Let's try to complete the table below following the given example for number 1. So lithium is a metal. It tends to lose electron and it is a cation. I want you to grab your paper and pen so you can pause the video while doing this activity. Okay, so maybe you're done with your answer sheet. So for aluminum, it is a metal. For sulfur, it is non-metal. Potassium is metal. And nitrogen is non-metal. So for its tendency to lose or gain electrons, if aluminum is metal, it tends to lose electron. If it is non-metal, it tends to gain electrons. For potassium, it will lose electron. And for nitrogen, it will gain electrons. Now let's identify what type of ion will it be. For aluminum, it tends to lose electrons. Then it will become a cation. For sulfur, it tends to gain electrons, so it will become anion. For potassium, it is cation, and for nitrogen, it is anion. I hope you got a perfect score on this activity. Next activity is gain or lose, you choose. We will have to identify the valence electrons of the following elements. Determine if they are going to lose or gain electrons. Then, you will write their ions. I want you to answer it in a separate sheet of paper. So you can pause the video while doing this activity. For nitrogen, the valence electron is 5. For calcium, it is 2. For bromine, it is 7. For the next column, number of electrons to lose. For bromine, it is 0. For magnesium, it is 2. For the next column, number of electrons to gain. For nitrogen, it needs to gain 3 more electrons. For lithium, it is 0. For calcium, 0. For bromine is 1. So, what ion is formed? For nitrogen, you form a -3. For lithium, +1. For calcium, +2. And for magnesium, it is +2. I hope you got it all correct. Thanks for watching. I hope you had a fantastic day.